So a couple videos ago, Levi had turned the rams out and they were in this new lot that we made. But in that video, the donkeys were not in the same lot, winter lot, that the sheep were in. So Levi had left a gate open so that they could both go back and forth and hopefully they would all come together in the winter lot. But that has not happened. The donkeys are in the winter lot. The sheep are in this pasture. So my goal this morning is to get all the sheep into this winter lot with the donkeys and lock them all in here because they have their new water, that new BarBar A water that we showed you. And they've got hay bales out there to eat. So that's what we're going to try to do. So now I need to feed Maggie, that is taken care of. Maggie is still out with the goats because the goats have been going up on the hillside. They're still working on like chewing off leaves from autumn olive and whatnot. And as long as they are going up in the woods, they need something there to protect them. So Maggie is staying with them. We haven't given up yet, but Levi and I aren't sure that the donkeys are going to work. They're not warming up to the sheep like we had hoped, but we're not sure that, you know, they haven't had enough time yet. So Maggie is still with us. She'll be with us until we know for sure that either these donkeys are going to work or we find different donkeys that will work. But if we find donkeys that will work, she's going to find a new home. So the rest of the water story. That night where we ended in this video, I'll link it right here if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. We ended with having the wrong size fittings. So the water line coming in that we were teeing off of and extending from was 1 inch. Levi thought it was 3/4, so all our stuff was 3/4. So we went to town, we got what we needed, picked up our boys from daycare, came home, ate dinner. I had a Farm Bureau meeting that night, so I went to my Farm Bureau meeting. When I got home, Levi came back out and worked from like 8:30 to midnight on the water system, finishing the last little bit of the trench down to the new waterer, putting all the fittings in, laying all the water line, connecting everything, and then burying it just enough that it wouldn't freeze, because we were working on a time crunch. That's why he had to come out so late. So he finished everything that night, came in. The next morning he got up, came back out in the pouring down rain, and had to fix one more little tweak where he thought it was leaking. And in the rain, he figured out that it was leaking, and he did fix it. How you do that in the rain, I don't have a clue. But with that rain that day, the temperature was dropping to freezing. A front was coming through, and it was going to get really cold. So that's why we were working so fast and so hard to get everything done. We installed this waterer that is frost-free and automatic. So it works by the sheep and the donkeys will press their nose in on this paddle, and then it fills up. And when they release the paddle, the water goes back down. And it takes about a minute and a half for the water to drain out of it completely. So that's what makes it frost-free. With what I was telling you earlier about the sheep having been in the pasture next to this lot when they weren't with the donkeys and we were trying to get them with the donkeys, I'm not sure that they've used it yet. I know I've seen the donkeys use it, so they know how to use it. But I'm going to have to watch the sheep pretty close over the next couple of days to make sure that at least a handful of them figure it out and can teach the rest of the flock. So that is our new water system. I'm excited to see how it works. I'll link it in the description below where we ordered it from. Again, it's called a BarBar A waterer. And they make all different sizes for all types of animals. I think most common is horses. We had some fill dirt delivered for a few different projects between us and the neighbor that we're going to be doing in the next year.
I found this.
What is it? Oh, cool.
It looks like probably a new water spout.
You're close. It's a pipe.
Pipe?
So we'll use all this fill dirt for, I don't know, various projects over the next year. But I have two very heavy little dirt devils. One there, one back there somewhere. Yeah. Well, while they are busy for a few minutes, I will give you a quick recap, or not really recap, but update on the water. Hi, donkeys. So, we put that new water in. You saw just a few minutes ago where I came out the next morning or whatever, and we're kind of working with the sheep a little bit on it. And unfortunately, they have not caught on to it very well. They're not, I don't know, they're not doing well with it. And there is a way to train them and adjust the bowl level and how well and how fast it drains, or that it just doesn't drain at all. But the caveat to that is it has to be warm, and it is not warm right now. So we have opened up the big tank at the end of the field in the pasture next to them right now, so they can get just to the water there. So they have water. We'll just have to try that out. Try that training process out a little different in the spring when it gets warm. So the sheep are in this lot behind that hoop barn. That's where we lambed out last year if you were around for that. The water that we just installed is right here, right next to that hoop barn. So they have this whole area. It's probably, I don't know, 2.5 acres maybe that. But at the end of it, it connects to this first lower pasture that we have here. And there's a big concrete trough there So we have just opened that gate and blocked it so they can get just to the water and then back out here into this kind of winter lot area for the year. So that's the update. This is probably the last video for 2022. There weren't a ton this year. But if you have ideas of things that you want to see for next year, things that you want to see, whether it's day-to-day stuff we're doing, big projects, something specific about lambing, comment below and let me know, and we'll try to get that out for you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next year. Happy holidays. No, give me your big muscles. Smile.
Cheese.
Good job.